Now, once again, the Beavers will be playing either this Friday or Saturday against 14th seed Eastern Washington. But if the Beavers do move on to the round of 32, they'll either be taking on 6th seeded Nebraska or 11th seeded Texas A&M. And of course, if it is Nebraska, that means the Beavers will be welcoming in former Oregon Duck Jaz Shelley back into the state where she once played for Oregon. And hey, speaking of Oregon, let's talk about the Oregon men who found out who exactly they'll be playing and where exactly they'll be playing later on this week. The Ducks, of course, being selected as the 11th seed in the Midwest bracket. They'll be taking on 6th-seeded South Carolina, of course, on Thursday as well. Jermaine Couisnard facing off against his former team. It's going to definitely be an exciting matchup considering how Oregon capped off their final season in the Pac-12. But now that we get into the March Madness tournament, it's all about refocusing for what the goal is ahead of them right now. And that's, of course, making a deep run in this March Madness tournament. Look, what happened yesterday on Saturday was incredible for Oregon Duck fans to witness, to win the final Pac-12 men's basketball tournament. But for head coach Dana Altman today, talking to the media during this selection show, he said this squad now has to refocus. They got to enjoy their 5 minutes of being Arizona, their 5 minutes of winning the Pac-12 tournament, but now they've got to forget about what they did just a few days ago and focus on their next opponent, which is South Carolina.
You know, it's funny, we just talked about that. I told him, I said, the same that applied to the Arizona game. You know, you got 5 minutes here to enjoy it, and then we move on to the next one. Give you a second there. South Carolina doesn't care, you know, that we won the Pac-12, you know. So it doesn't mean much. We just got to refocus, forget about that, and get ready for Thursday.
And frankly, it's a refocusing for both Oregon State and, of course, Oregon as well. Both of these teams beginning their March Madness journey a little bit later on this week. Albert, I've got to say this to you. It's going to be exciting to watch for both of these squads. I don't think anyone coming into the season for both Oregon men and the Oregon State women expected that these two teams would be where they are at today, especially considering some of the injuries and some of the hurdles that they've had to overcome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you are, and all of those Oregon State fans are looking forward to some of these games later on this week as well.